Handsum Gambler, one goal, clean sweep, going 5 for 5 every UFC card. I am the Handsum Gambler. Your boy pulled off the clean sweeps, folks. It's the kind of run where the bookies don't even make eye contact. They just slide your play across the pay window and hope you walk away quietly. That's 5 straight weeks of 60% or better. It's going to be hard to put this card in the rearview mirror, but we have to do it. We're going from Pacific to the Midwest. We're going to Chicago for UFC 319, Plessis V Chimaeav. This is a stack card with a lot of opportunity, but as always, gotta have a quick recap of the perfect night that I had at UFC Vegas 109. First off, I had Jocelyn Edwards, pure KO power. She was dialed in. She found her range and finished Priscilla Cash with a beautiful left hook. She didn't even see it coming. Starched her, put her away quick. Ref was there to right on point to stop her from receiving too much damage after she was unconscious. And just a very workmanlike performance from Jocelyn Edwards. She got the 50K bonus. Easy work, easy money. That's what we do here at the Handsum Gambler. Fight number 2, Elijah Smith over Tashiyomi Kazama. Straight up highlight reel knockout. Picked him up, put him down, and turned out the lights. 50K bonus for Elijah Smith. I believe it's 2 straight knockout losses for Tashiyomi Kazama. On to the third fight, which was Julius Juicebox Walker over Rafael Cerqueira. Unanimous decision victory for Juicebox. He had grit, he had control, he worked smart, and he made sure he won that fight. So, and it looks like Cerqueira is actually not a fraud, not a complete fraud at least. But we got it done again. Fight number 4, Gene Matsumoto over Miles Johns. I know it was a split decision. This was a tight fight, but like I said, it was going to come down to Gene Matsumoto being able to win those moments. He had several high-class moments, big kicks, big punches, pushing him against the cage, backing him up with his power. Miles Johns was kind of pissed that he didn't win the decision, but you can't be a decision merchant in a time where we're literally handing people fights for action. The damage that Chris Duncan put on Mateusz Rebecki was a couple weeks back, last week. That the damage you provide, the big moments is what we're looking for as judges and fans here in the UFC. So, I mean, no, he's pissed about it, but I would have gave the fight to Gene Matsumoto 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, based on the new criteria of what mixed martial arts scoring is. Fight number 5, Steve Erceg with the dog-like comeback over Ode Osborne. He was in trouble early. He dug deep. He got his wrestling going. He landed some big ground and pound toward the end of the fight and eventually overcame Ode Osborne. There was another round or maybe another 2 minutes. I feel like he would have finished Ode Osborne. He was gassed. He was done. And good to see him get back on the winning column. I think he needs to kind of protect and pad his record a little bit. Let's get a couple wins before he starts diving back into the deep end. I think that's what would be best for Steve Erceg going forward. That's how you close out a card. 5 for 5, all cash, all green. The streak stays alive. My bankroll is growing. My confidence is high. But we don't live in the past. The most important card is the next one. And this week at UFC Chicago, Plessis V Chimaeav. We're going to play this card very tight. I got my coffee, I got my notes, I got my inflated ego, and I'm ready to cook some mo. So let's get it. Well, I want to introduce you to a new section of the show that I'm calling the Fade Parade. What the Fade Parade is we're going to let you know about the duds and underperformers of last week's card. Let's get into it. My first entry is going to be Gilbert Urbina. Absolute trash. Fart. He's an absolute fart. So he had arithmetic hurt, couldn't close the show. bigger, stronger, and somehow how worse than his opponent. Moving on, Toshiomi Kazama, get this guy out of the UFC. Get him out of the UFC ASAP. He's lost 4 fights by knockout, 1 by right hook, 1 by left hook, 1 by flying knee, and 1 by slam. This guy's eventually going to get killed in the UFC, and I don't need anybody ruining my sport. Get him out of here. And finally, my favorite. He's the dud of the week, if you ask me. I love seeing Roman Dolidze get choked like a little bitch, okay? I didn't enjoy the stuff that he did with JP Buys and what is his name, Cheyenne Velismus. That wasn't cool to me, fellas. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I think that he kind of got his comeuppance, and he deserved to get the shit choked out of him. It's my personal opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Those are your duds of the week, duds of the day. All these guys, get them out. Fave parade, don't forget it. First pick of UFC 319, Du Plessis Chimaeav, is going to be Chase Hooper. Taller, longer, younger, 3-fight winning streak. He wins his fight everywhere it goes. I would not trace the finish unless you know, have your crystal ball out and you know exactly how this is going to go. But I feel like he could finish this via knockout. He could sub him. That could happen early or late, so even the round prop's a little weird. Hernandez has been dog tough lately, so I guess the slightest lean that I would take would be Chase Hooper and round 2 starting. I might take something like that. But Chase Hooper is the pick. I believe he was like negative between 600 and 1,000, depending on the sports book that you're on at the time of this video. But it's warranted. I would throw $100 at this fight, and I think he is parlay worthy. From a young gun on the rise to a vet who might still have left his best years back in the Reebok era. Talking about Diego Ferreira and Bobby Green, King Green. This is the oldest fight on the card, and I cannot back Bobby Green anymore. He's defensively irresponsible. He does not keep his hands up. He has a 3-inch disadvantage in reach in this fight. His bad chin with the bad defensive tactics against a strong heavy hitter with a reach advantage. This is easy money. Diego Ferreira money line. Diego Ferreira inside the distance. Diego Ferreira knockout, and he has a strong grappling advantage. If he wants to just win the fight via decision, play it safe, he could just take Bobby Green down and sit on him for 15 minutes or hunt for subs. He might even get one. But I think he has this fight covered everywhere it could go, even though he's the older man. I think he has less damage on him, even though he's the older man. Bobby's withered. He's been through some wars. It was the Jalen Turner concussed him very bad just 3 or 4 fights ago. And I think that he should think about retirement. I think Bobby Green needs to think about retirement and stop fighting before he really ends up hurt. Next up, I'm taking Michael Venom Page over Jared Cannonier. Taller, karate striker, younger, reach advantage. Cannonier would have to have a Strickland-like performance as far as output to win this fight. His other way to win this fight would be to wrestle, but he has 1 takedown in his entire career of fighting. I think that's going to lead to a 15-minute one-sided kickboxing match, and I have MVP moneyline, MVP by decision. Fight number 4 is going to be Michael Olajuwon over Jared Meerschaert. 7 years younger, better striker by a mile, training with the Fighting Nerds now. Rodolfo Vieira got a win. He went to them last week with his win over Trayshawn Gore. I'm riding with the Fighting Nerds right now. I believe that that's a camp that is on the rise, and the guys that have the that is leading towards being contenders in all divisions, and it just looks like the camp that's taking over right now. So I have Michael Olajaychuk. I would play the double chance prop. I would take him by knockout, take him by decision. But at 40 plus years old, I don't think that Gerald has too many more crazy subs left in him. I think we're kind of behind that point with him. The game is evolving and people are catching up with that's what he wants to do, and they're not going to do it. I think this is Olajaychuk's fight. Like I said, knockout or decision inside the distance prop is also on the table. Fight number 5, I'm taking Kai Asakura over Tim Elliott. Taller, longer, younger, more active, knockout power. Tim is on an 18-month layoff. I think at 38 years old, he's just showing up for a check, and he's going to attempt to get that wrestling going. I give him the first round, maybe, but if he doesn't sub him or get Kai out of there in the first round, I believe his age catches up with him in this fight, and he loses a one-sided decision, or even worse, gets starched in the last 6 minutes of the fight. We'll say the end of the second or sometime in the third round, getting finished. And before I wrap things up, I'm going to point something out. On this streak of 5 straight weeks of profit, I know I don't pick a lot of main events, but that's by design. I believe main events are like the last drink at a bar. It looks good, it feels good, but it's usually the one that ruins your night, pushes you over the edge. But hey, between you and me, I'm going to give you an unofficial lean on this week's main event. Now, this is not for profit or bankroll. I don't even think I'll even make this bet. It's like I said, so it's just a lean for the main event. I am taking Dricus du Plessis, DDP. The pressure, the awkwardness, I think the Tank gets it done. I think he is big enough to withstand the first round because people that are smaller than him have survived the first round, like Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns. And I think that's going to give him the confidence to know that we're going to go into the deep waters where I'm going to get my get back and come up it. So I see the fight going late. Dricus, maybe a late finish or Dricus decision. We'll see, but that is my lean for UFC 319. We've made it through another episode of The Handsum Gambler. I am The Handsum Gambler. Stay sharp, play smart, bet on charm, and win with style. I am the Handsum Gambler, and I'm cashing out. See you at the pay window, folks. Happy travels.
It's the greatest team of all time. That squad right there.